You're looking at Ben Simmons speaking. We're having audio difficulty. We're going to get you the audio as soon as it becomes available. I hasten to point out the audio is on the Zoom call and the audio is on the Nets end, if you will. And we are waiting to hear from Ben Simmons for the first time since the trade deadline. Heck, for the first time in 240 days since June 20th, 2021, the Game 7 loss to Atlanta.
Come on, audio.
Since then, he has
Come on,
pulled
man.
himself out of commission, and we have been waiting for him to either see action with the Sixers, which we all knew that that was not going to happen, and or to be traded, which of course did happen on February the 10th. Let's either go to New York or we'll fix our audio difficulties and come back.
Yeah.
Hey Ben, what's the ramp-up process been like for you, and when do you anticipate being able to participate in games?
Yes, I don't have a date yet, but I'm working towards getting back on the floor, and yeah, so no date yet, but I'm starting to ramp it up.
Hey Ben, was there anything this season that could have changed your mind and got you to play again, or your mind made up and until you were out of Philadelphia, you were definitely not going to play again?
For me, it was just making sure mentally I was right to get out there and play again. So that's something I've been dealing with, and it wasn't about the fans or coaches or comments made by anybody. It was just a personal thing for me. That was earlier than that series or even that season that I was dealing with. And that organization knew that, so it is something that I continue to deal with, and I'm getting there and getting to the right place to get back on the floor.
Hey Ben, there was so much sourced reporting around everything going on with you. So I guess you're saying that the mental health issue preceded you requesting the trade in the offseason. Okay, I guess can you just shed a little light on the timeline?
Yeah, for me, that was never. The mental health has nothing to do with just the trade. It was a bunch of things I was dealing with as a person in my personal life that I don't really want to go into depth with. But yeah, I'm here now, so it's a blessing to be in an organization like this, and I'm just looking forward to getting back on the floor and building something great here.
First off, welcome to Brooklyn. For you personally, moving forward, I'm curious what the kind of things are, if you can even quantify them, have to happen, I guess, for you to be in the right headspace, to be out on the court and competing.
Just staying on top of what I need to stay on top of, and being consistent with that is getting to the place where I can do that.
Hey Ben, I wanted to ask you a couple things. When you played your last game with the Sixers, what was going through your mind? What were your last emotions? And what was the straw that basically snapped that made you say it's time to go?
I don't think it was really that. It was more so just it was just piled up, a bunch of things that have gone on over the years to where I just knew I wasn't myself, and I needed to get back into that place of being myself and being happy as a person, and taking care of my well-being. And that was the major thing for me. It wasn't about the basketball, it wasn't about the money, anything like that. I want to be who I am and get back to playing basketball at that level and being myself.
And the last game?
Last game?
What's the kind of what was going on through your mind after the last game?
I need to get in a good place mentally, honestly. That was the main thing.
And when you look at this roster, the makeup of this team, there are times where you could be on the floor with KD and Kyrie. You could be out there without either one of them. How do you see your role in fitting in, or what kind of conversations have you had with Steve about what that would be?
Yes, I think it's just staying aggressive, playing to my strengths, and that's being a playmaker and making the right plays, setting my guys up, and then defensively, obviously, locking down who I need to lock down. So I'm excited to get in the floor with these guys. Is incredible team, incredible talent. So super excited.
Hey Ben, how's it going? Welcome to Brooklyn. Obviously Kyrie was away from basketball for a little while at the beginning of the season. He was talking about how
coach or, owners or anything like that. It was about myself, getting to a place where, I need to be.
When it comes to that mental recalibration, has it helped, or even how much has it helped just to have a change of pace, a different environment, where to take your skills?
I think it has. I think just the way everybody's welcomed me here has been great. It's been a very positive experience. It's just being here so far, and I'm looking forward to what's to come.
And a couple quick ones, just following up on the Philly stuff. Why do you think it got so bad there?
If I knew, I would tell you everything. But there's just a lot of things internally that had to happen over time, and it just got to a place where I don't think it was good for me mentally. So, it is what it is. It happened, and moving forward. So,
And as far as playing with Kyrie and KD, how do you think what you do accentuates what they already do on the floor well?
I think it's going to be scary. Having those guys running alongside me is, multiple different weapons on the floor. And I think at the pace we want to play at, it's going to be unreal.
I'm wondering, like, as someone who's, plays basketball for a living and loves the game, was it difficult to, kind of stick with that? And what was the most challenging thing about
that? Not doing what I love. That was definitely the most difficult part, especially for that long. And, when you take someone away from somebody that, what they love doing, it's hard for anybody. So, over time, I worked on that and trying to stay in a positive place and get to, where I need to be. It was difficult, but, I'm blessed to be in this situation and have this opportunity.
Ben, who was your supporting cast that helped you get through this time? And was it hard not to? It seemed like for a while, every day somebody was saying something, whether it was somebody, Sixers, media, did you pay attention to that? And did any of that bite you?
This is the first time I'm really speaking out, right? So last 6 months, I had everybody saying something, but not everybody knew. So I can't really say anything negative towards anybody that was saying something because they just didn't know. And I'm not the type of person to try to put somebody down for something I don't know about. That's just not me as a man. So, I have my family there supporting me from day one. Friends, I've made a ton of friends that work with the Sixers too. So it was never, a personal thing. It was just for my well-being to get where I need to be to.
And is there anything that was said that you heard that you'd like to clear up that you
Man, if we'll be here for a while if that's the case. There's been, everybody had a source, right? There's hundreds of sources.
I apologize if I'm getting ahead of ourselves too much, but you guys do have a game in Philly in a couple of weeks. Do you think you can be ready for that? Physically, mentally, I imagine it's a pretty.
I hope so.
Lisa Salters.
Hey, Ben, just you saying that you want to get back to being the guy, the player that you are mentally, physically. Just where are you now mentally and physically? Where do you think you are?
Physically, I think, over the last 6 months I've been working, so I feel physically pretty good. Mentally, I'm getting there. So it's an ongoing thing to just stay on top of that. But I think I'm heading in the right direction.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Ben, you said you were looking forward to that game against the Sixers. I'm curious, do you think the way all of this went down, the proximity, the quality of the rosters, the caliber of players, yourself and James, do you think, that this is instantly now going to become a fierce rivalry?
I've been on the other side, so I've played Brooklyn in the first round and had them booing and Jared Dudley talking shit to me. So that was a lot of fun, though. I love Jared for that. But no, I want everybody to be looking at us like we're the best team, and we got to get there. It's going to take time, but I'm positive we can do that. And I believe in coaches and the organization here and the players to do that.
And secondly, you talked about having to get in the right mental space to be able to play. When you see, or maybe you don't see them, when people are commenting or opining that this was not real, this is fake, these are lies, whatever, do you take offense to that?
No, because I can't tell somebody else how they feel, right? I can't tell somebody, you need to do this or that, because I don't know how they feel. I don't know what they're going through. I don't know how they're processing things. So I can't do that, but I can't also put somebody else, down for having those comments. I'm just not that person, I'm never going to put my teammates down, my coaches or anything like that. So it's just, it is what it is.
Malika Andrews.
Hey, Ben, I have two for you. I'm just curious. One, what was the communication like with Philadelphia on the way out? And as you look back, is there anything in order to kind of move forward that you would have done differently?
Yeah, I think the communication, I spoke to Elton, I spoke to Josh Harris, they called me, I spoke to Doc Rivers, and I spoke to Tobias. There was a couple other players I spoke to about it. And, they were happy, for me to just be in a different situation and, for me to get back on the floor eventually. So now overall, I think, they supported me well enough through this.
Did you speak with Joel?
No, I did not.
Thank you.
Ben, trade deadline day, were you pretty nervous? And what were your emotions when you got the call, when you got the word that it was done, and who gave you that information?
Yeah, I was sitting there on my laptop with the TV in front, so my phone just started blowing up, and it didn't feel real for a few days, honestly. So once I actually drove into the city, I was like, wow, I'm really here, which was very surreal because I got my family 30 minutes away. I got my grandparents 30 minutes away, so it's nice to have them, close by also. And I think just this whole experience has been kind of surreal.
Was there like an emotional release of any sort?
I don't think it really hit me until I was, by myself, because I was around my brothers and friends at the time. So once it really happened, I had to really take some time to myself and really process it.
Michael Grady.
I'm just curious, that surreal feeling, Ben. You hadn't been around teammates on a bench setting in a while. What were your emotions like yesterday in celebrating with your teammates and watching the game unfold?
Yeah, for me, it felt like it should feel always. My teammates embraced me as soon as I got here. And then besides that, the fans were very welcoming, which was great. And, the energy just in the locker room and just around the building was terrific.
How soon after the trade, like who were your first conversations with? I know you said you were with your brother, and then how soon after kind of digging through all your, texts and whatever you were getting, did you get to kind of really talk to KD and Kyrie and, talk about what would happen going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to KD a couple of hours after. And, he was great on the phone, it was very welcoming. So he's excited too. So, I think it's just looking forward to getting on the floor with those guys and that talent.
David Aldridge.
Ben, specifically, you had a specific ball handling, playmaking role in Philly. What do you think your specific role, your best role will be in Brooklyn?
I think I try to compare it to my early seasons with JJ Redick, Ersan Ilyasova, and Marco Bellinelli when we were, I think we were playing the Nets in the first round, or Miami in the first round. And just the way we were flowing and playing, that's how I know how to play basketball. I'm a team player. I like to see everybody scoring, contributing in whatever way they can. And that's the way you got to play to win. So, if you want to be a winner, you got to play with all the guys on the floor and use everybody's abilities, and maximize the abilities that everybody has.
Otis Livingston.
Hey, Ben, welcome to Brooklyn. There are going to be some people out there that are skeptical, that are going to say that James Harden was faking his hamstring injury and that you were maybe faking your mental health issues. What do you have to say to those people that saw you smiling yesterday during a shoot around and then on the bench as well? What do you say to those people that have skepticism about that, and where are you in that process?
They should be happy I'm smiling, honestly. I've had some dark times over these last 6 months, and I'm just happy to be in this situation with this team and organization. So people are going to say what they want. They've said it the last 6 months, and I haven't commented. And it is what it is. So people are always going to have their own opinions.
Given comments like that, do you think there needs to be a change in how we address or how we think about athletes and their mental health?
For sure. I don't think people really understand I don't even look at it as pressure. There's just so many things going on within, basketball and life as people. But it is what it is also. I understand the business side. I understand all that. But that's something that, people should be acknowledged and addressed if they do feel like they need some help in areas. And it's okay to do that.
We have time for one more question, Christian.
Ben, what kind of work have you done to improve the free throw shooting percentage?
Non-stop working. It's been in the gym, honestly. Been in the gym working every day.
Just being consistent and getting that confidence. Definitely.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, guys, that is Ben Simmons' introductory press conference with the Brooklyn Nets here. Real quick to sum up everything we have learned, Ben Simmons does not have a date yet to return to action. He said it was a personal thing for him earlier before the playoff series last year, what was going on mentally with Ben Simmons. Ben wants to get to a place where he can be consistent. When asked what was the final straw that made him leave the Philadelphia 76ers, he said it was a bunch of things that piled up, and he wanted to get back to himself and take care of himself and his well-being. He wasn't sure. He said it wasn't about basketball. He said it wasn't about the money, but he reiterated that he wanted to. It was all about him getting back to himself. Ben on his fit with Kevin Durant. He wants to stay aggressive. That is something that we have seen inconsistently with Ben Simmons from a game-to-game basis with the Philadelphia 76ers. He wants to be a playmaker. He wants to set guys up and lock guys down. That is where I think Ben's fit with the Brooklyn Nets is truly going to shine. Ben wanted a change in environment. Clearly, you saw it. Like, Ben was clearly playing victim here for the majority of this press conference. He gave a lot of non-answers here. Physically, he says he feels good. Mentally, I'm getting there, but heading in the right direction. The biggest thing here is that he says he wants to play against the Philadelphia 76ers when they match up here in a couple of weeks. I cannot wait for that to go down. That is going to be pure entertainment. And lastly, he did not speak to Joel Embiid here during this process and during the trade. So he threw some love to Tobias Harris and some of the other players on the Sixers, not Joel Embiid. That rivalry between Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, man, I just hope we get a 7-game playoff series because that will be awesome. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We're going to throw it over next in a new stream to our James Harden press coverage. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. Thank you, guys. Stay